My name is Eason and welcome back to another video. In the last video, we got into Introduction to HTML. We wrote this stuff on our screen. We added a line, we did a line break, we added some text. It looks a little big because I zoomed in, so if I zoom out, it's going to look normal. But I'll zoom back in so you guys can see my screen very, very clearly. So we put our stuff in the body tag to show up on the web page, and we have this head tag here, and this video is dedicated to that head tag. So what goes in the head tag? Well, stuff that does not show up on the web page. So our metadata, our JavaScript, and our titles are going to go into our head tag. Our link tag, where we're going to link style sheets and other stuff like databases, we're going to get into that later when we get into other languages used for web development, just like CSS. So yeah, let's get into this. So we're going to start out with the title tag. Very, very cool. And inside here is going to be our website's title. I have my title blurred because it shows things that belong to my computer, and I don't want y'all doxing me. Because that changed, and I can't figure out how to change it back to before. So I want to blur it when I put a title in. So we can put the title for our web page in. So I could just say home. There we go. It's unblurred if you'd like to see it. So I have home. I have about. I have contact. Or I could change this to this is a title. It could be as long as I want. So I can just copy and paste it over and over again. And then it's just going to go on. And of course it's going to repeat because it can't fill up the whole thing. But I'm going to remove that because I don't want it doing that so much. So I'll just change this to home. It's a simple title. The next tag we're going to do is the script tag. So with the script tag, this is how you're linking a JavaScript file. So we could do source JavaScript file, but we don't have a JavaScript file made because we're not learning JavaScript yet. So we're just going to do the script tag. There's an end tag for this as well. Very simple. A lot of things are going to pop up, but just type in /script. You'll be fine. So we can write some JavaScript. So I can create a variable and set it equal to this is a variable, write some basic JavaScript. As you can see, nothing's changing on our website. I can go to the console. Nothing's here. Nothing's changed. I mean, if I go to the console, I can also type in, if I type this in, it's going to say undefined, actually. But, it's whatevs. So, yeah, that's the script tag for you. If I put an alert, the alert would show up. So we're going to put JavaScript in here. If I put Java, it's not going to work. Then let's say JavaScript does not work on your web browser maybe because it's outdated or something. Well, that's what the Noscript tag is for. Inside the Noscript tag is going to be a message that displays when JavaScript's not working. So we could say your browser doesn't support JavaScript. And when we save that, if my browser did not support JavaScript, this would show up, and the person on the website will be aware of that. So that's the Noscript tag. That's the script tag. Very cool. The last tag we're going to go over, and you might be thinking it's the last tag. I see how long this video is. The last tag we're going to go over, which has a lot to it, is the meta tag. And the meta tag holds metadata, which is data about data. Hopefully that makes sense. And it will as we get on. So meta tags contain a lot. It contain a name attribute. It contains an HTTP equiv attribute. But we're going to stick with the name one. We're going to kind of go out of order based on kind of like use and easy and other stuff, and kind of just how I written it down on my notes. That's how I'm going by it. So though we're gonna do a name attribute for these first few. So we're gonna do name equals to and then a pair of quotations. You can also do apostrophes, but I'm gonna do quotations because it just looks neater. So yeah, very, very cool. And this one's gonna be called description. It is case sensitive, so you need to get it right. And then we have our description. Now we gotta write what our description is. So we're gonna write content equals to, then in quotation we'll write our description. So we could say so our title is this is webpage by Eason. We have home page for my webpage created by me. That's very lame description. If this was a music website, we could put in a description about what our website does for music. Maybe we sell music. Maybe we teach people how to play music. How maybe we just have music that you download illegally or something. Pirate Bay, or we create a music Pirate Bay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the description tag, and we'll save this because we need to do that. Then the next one we're going to do is author, same thing, name, and then we'll put content as well. Why is that highlighted? I don't want it to be highlighted. That looks weird. And then our content, we'll just put the author name. You can put your name, you can put someone else's name, any name you want. And we're just going to put my name here, the Eason, as you guys know from my YouTube channel name. Very, very cool. And say that. And I spelled name wrong, so I need to fix that. Cool. Then we're going to do the next one, which is application-name And this is just going to be the name of your application. So maybe you have a website that's kind of like a software or something like that. Maybe your website's on a software or whatever reason, and you just want to put this in. So you can just put our application name. I'm just going to call it web page. You can call it whatever you want. You could call it store. You could call it contact. Call it home if you'd like. I'm just going to call it web page. The next one we are going to do is going to be keywords. So what keywords does, we're going to put content in there, not name. So keywords, when you go to a search engine, it looks for certain things when you're searching up something. So if I look up music stores near me, it's going to look at those keywords and then pull up stuff, websites that show music stores near me. Most of the time it's going to pull up Google Maps. And this is exactly what it does. So you're going to put keywords in your code, and search engines like Google or Yahoo is going to take that and kind of filter it in the search results when you search something up. So some keywords here, we could put web page, the Eason, we could do HTML, CSS, and all that stuff. And all of these are separated by commas. So web page, comma, then the Eason, comma, then HTML, comma, and then CSS. Very, very cool. All right, the next one we're going to do, does this have a name? Yes, it does. The last name one we're going to go through for a second. Actually, no, I won't. We're going to do viewport, and this is going to be how you view the web page. So this one's a little long, so bear with me with this. So we're going to do width. So the width of the web page is going to be equal to the device width, which is just going to, be the width of the web page. It's going to be how big the device is. Then a comma, initial scale equals 1.0. And then we're going to end the tag. So what does this mean? So we know what device width is. It's going to be the width of the device. The scale is going to be how zoomed in the web page is. So how zoomed in is going to be. If we put 1.0, it's going to be, normal. Put 2.0, it's going to be a little bit scaled. And stuff like this. So that's very, very cool. And this is a part of responsive web design where you make a web page look nice and fluid on every device. So on a phone, it looks good. It doesn't look blocky and disoriented because it was made for a computer and stuff like that. So that's very, very cool. All right, so the next thing we're going to go over is our robots. And you might be wondering, what the heck is a robot? A robot's like a web search tool, and it uses your data, your metadata and stuff, and it kind of uses like search bots, so it goes to your website and searches for things, hyperlinks and all that stuff, and kind of filters out and puts data into the web servers and stuff like that. So that's very, very cool. So to add robots or to allow it to happen, you can do meta name equals robots. Then we're going to do content, and we're just going to put follow. Now, something neat about this is that if you want robots, use your website and stuff. I'm just going to call robots. You don't have to do this. You can just leave it blank, and it's going to do the exact same thing. So us saying follow is not going to change anything. However, if we change this to no index, now it's not going to allow them to follow. It's going to tell them to stop. You cannot do this, and they'll go on with their day. Now, I kind of want this to happen, so I'm going to move it back to follow. Very, very cool. All right, next one we're going to do is our generator. And our content is going to be kind of like where we're writing our code. So if you're using Notepad, you write Notepad. I'm going to write Visual Studio Code because that's what I'm using. It's going to be where you're generating your HTML code and your web servers and stuff like that. And the next one we're going to do is not a name attribute. We're actually going to do HTTP equiv, which is kind of like half of equivalent. I'm going to put some stuff. So we could do refresh, and this is just going to refresh the page. And so our content will be how long we're going to refresh the page. So if I do 5 seconds, it's going to refresh the page, every 5 seconds or so. I change it to 30, same thing. Close that tag. I'm going to remove this because I don't want that to happen. All right. The next one we're going to do is another HTTP equiv, and this is going to be default style, if I can type. And then this is going to be the style sheet, our CSS file that we're going to prefer for our web page. So maybe we have multiple style sheets with multiple uses. Maybe one's for color, one's for text, one's for borders, one's for organization. They could have some overlapping stuff. So this chooses a style sheet to go through always over all the other ones. It's favorite. So we don't have one, but we can pretend there is. And we're just going to do style.css, and that's not a closing. There we go. Now we close that. Cool. The next HTTP equiv we're going to do is content type. And this is just going to be the content we have in here. So we have text and HTML. So we're going to do text.html. And then since we have some other things, which we're actually going to get to the next time, we're just going to type in UTF-8. And we'll get into what this is. So the next one we're getting to is meta, and it's called character set. This is the only character set we're going to do. And it's just going to choose a set of characters that is used on our web page. So things like the at or our text, which kind of varies between, HTMLs and character sets. So we're going to just do that. And then we're going to type equals to, then quotations, and then our character set, which kind of like the universal one, the ones you're going to see in most countries and most websites, is UTF-8. If you go to maybe like China, it might be UTF-16, but UTF-8 is the one you kind of want to go with. So yeah, that's character sets for you. And that's why we put it here in our content. We kind of define what character set we're using and kind of what we're putting on our webpage, which is just HTML text. Very, very cool. All right, let me flip my notes over. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is translate. So what if we have a website that's teaching French or something, and we don't want Google Translate to translate it because we know it's not accurate and we want people to learn on their own. What we can do is that we can do meta name, we're going to call it Google, and then the content is really simple. We're just going to say no translate. And that's going to stop Google from translating anything on our websites. It's going to tell them to stop, you would not do this, and then they'll move on with their day. That's very, very cool. All right, the next thing we're going to do is NOOD. If you have no idea what that means, it's No Open Dictionary Project. So no ODP, it's short, and that's what you're going to write it out as. So what this does is a search engine will not use metadata for their results. You won't use this metadata and other data on our webpage that we just put in. So yeah, they're not going to do that. And different search engines have different like keywords, and I'll go through those keywords. So to do this, we're just going to do meta name, and for Google, you'll do Google bot. Very, very cool. And then our content will write out no open directory project or NOOD. That's so weird. I put meet. That's not what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be meta, not meet. That's better. Okay. All right, and then if we want to change this from Yahoo, not doing it, we're just going to type in slurp. And then for MSN and LiveSouth, we'll do BingBot. Voila, very, very cool. And I don't want MSN's them to do it, so we're going to leave it like so. Very, very cool. All right, let's get back to this HTTP quiz. This is going to be our fourth one. So what we're going to put in here is expires. And this is going to tell the web page and the computer when this web page is going to expire. So we're going to put the dates. We'll do Monday, today's the 24th when I'm filming this. We'll do Monday, the 31st of May, 2021 at 1800 EST. And there we go. We just told them when this web page is set to expire, you won't be able to access it anymore, or it just won't work. So that's very, very cool. So yeah, let's go back to that name attribute, and we're going to do distribution. And then our content is going to be who's able to view this web page. So IU is going to be just you. Only you can view this web page. Only you can edit it. Only you can do anything with it. If we change this to local, it's going to be local to like your IP address, your computer, and stuff like that. Not public to anyone in other countries. If we did global, it is now globalized. It is, something that you can access in other countries and all that stuff. Maybe someone in South Korea can see a website in South Asia. Did I say South Asia? No, South Africa. That's what I meant to say. Most of the time when you're creating a web page, you're going to set it to global because you kind of want everyone to view it. But I use this when I'm making a website and I already have it in my folder. I have everything set up. I just don't want it public yet. So I'll set it to IU or local if I want someone else to test it out. So that's very, very cool. All right. And then there's going to be two more metas. We're going to go over both the name attribute. So meta name, and this one's going to be revised. And kind of like expires, this one's going to have a date. Except this time, we're going to tell them when we last updated and revised the website. So today's the 24th, so I'm just going to do Monday, 24 May 2021. We'll do 12/12/12 EST. I don't know why I'm saying that, because I don't know the exact second. All right, and then the last one we're going to do meta name, and that's going to be language. And so this is the language that's going to be appearing on our website. So if we just did United States English, because some words are spelled differently, we'll just do EN for English, and then a hyphen, and then US, which is the United States' two-letter abbreviation. Language comes before the country, they're separated by a hyphen, and they're both 2 letters each. Now, what if we wanted to put it in French for France? We'll just do FR for France and FR for France. What about Canadian French? We'll do FR for French, CA for Canada. Then Spanish, we do ES for Spanish, ES for Spain. And then for Mexico, we could change that ES to an MX. What about Mandarin? Mandarin is actually a little bit different. Instead of Mandarin, instead of like MA, it's ZH. And then for China, it's CN. And there we go. Mandarin. And since my website's not Mandarin, I'm going to change that back to English United States. And there we go. We just got through a lot of stuff in the head tags. We got through metadata, scripts, Noscripts, and the title. And that's all I'm going to end. All I'm going to include in this video. There is more meta stuff that you can put in. But this is really, if anything, you're not probably going to use all this. But besides maybe the character set, the author, description, keywords, and robots. Those are probably the ones. And viewport. Those are the main ones I think you would use. So yeah. But thank you so much for watching. I have more HTML videos if you guys are going to watch them. Next video, we're going to get into text and just writing things on our webpage. So we're going to get into articles, paragraphs, headings, bolding, text, and, stuff like that. So you guys can check that out. Like, subscribe. It's free. It always helps me out. And you can change your mind later on. I have a Discord server you'd like to join. You can contact me without doxing me through there. My DMs are always open. So yeah, it's very, very cool. You guys want to check out more videos on computer science or just other stuff I upload, go ahead. I am a daily fact of the day series if you just want to learn something new. But see you guys in the next video.